Hi and welcome back. My name is Alna from alnakane.com, and today we're going to talk about Instagram marketing and how to use Instagram for writers. All right, so here is my Instagram profile. You can take a look quickly, and then I'm going to talk about the marketing tips to help you if you don't have an Instagram profile, or if you do and nothing is happening. All right, so this is what it looks like. And then here are my posts. I have lots of different content here. And if you go over here, Reels are a video platform for Instagram. It's very hot. These are short little videos. You can make them a bit longer now, but here are my videos here for Reels. Videos, I don't use this. Videos are taken from my stories. So when I share an Instagram live, this is where they all live right here. So you can see me and my thoughtful face right there. Saved are things that I have saved so that I can go back, and I'm really into the food stuff, so you can see, so I can make some recipes and just some things that I want to look over. And then tagged are people who tagged you. So you can always take a look and see what they tagged you about. So these things, for example, I was tagged in. So I get notified. So for me, for my Instagram marketing, I really focus on my content here, what I produce on Instagram, and my feed. Actually, I go through my feed to see what's going on, to like content, to share content, things like that. That's where I usually hang out. Sometimes I hang out with stories on my phone, and I'll post stories on my phone, so it'll be on my phone mostly. But lately I haven't been doing lots of stories, and we'll get into the types of content. I just want to show you my profile. Feel free to follow me. Lots of writers and copywriters follow me, and I share content for you guys as well as for my ideal client. And we'll go through that because it's a little bit muddy when I think about what I'm doing on Instagram, but it's working. It's still working for me. So I want to share some marketing stuff for Instagram if you want to grow on Instagram and land clients, of course. Instagram marketing for this year, how to use Instagram for writers. We're focusing on 2022. Things are changing with Instagram because of other platforms such as TikTok, which it's taking off right now, but Instagram is still a viable platform, especially for us as freelance writers. Right now, I'm on lots of different platforms like LinkedIn and Twitter. I'm on YouTube, I'm on Facebook. So, Instagram for me is like another Facebook. That's a bit more personal. So let's go into some tactics first, or some tips. First thing definitely is to focus on your bio. I think this is where you're going to really shine as the type of writer that you are and who your audience is, and just some fun facts about you. And you can really attract your potential client just by your bio. On top is my bio. I used my name when I created my profile on Instagram. Some people have keywords like copywriting by Kristen, but most likely you're going to see names, just their names, or a variation of their name and their niche. My suggestion, it's really up to you. I want to build my brand. So my brand is Alnakane at alnakane.com. So it only makes sense to use my name. If you type that in Google, you'll see my blog and other things. So, someone like Kristen, she wants to be known as the copywriting by Kristen. That could be her brand. If I go and type in copywritingbykristen.com, I'm not quite sure. So I'm a little bit elusive on this profile, but that's okay. I mean, it's working for her because she's doing other methods to grow her profile, and I'll show you. But for me, I put in capitals here. It's up to you. Some people don't. My name again, and then what I do. I'm just putting copywriter. I played around with this. For you, if you're not into copywriting, put freelance writer. Most likely, I think the better option is to put content writer, because there's a lot of hashtags. There's a lot of talk and discussion about content. So if you put content writer, that's great. I don't think you can fit a lot in this option here. You don't have to put your name if you have your name here. So just put your niche, like health content writer or something like that. I put copywriter, and then I recently put it a little emoji of a flag of Canada. I am finding that Canadian brands are looking at my profile on LinkedIn. They're looking here on Instagram. So I want to make sure that they know that I am Canadian. And I'm also looking at these brands and if they have a Canadian branch, because sometimes if you want to write for brands, see if they have a division in your country. Something like GoDaddy has divisions in the UK and in Canada. So something like that. So I'm sort of looking at those types of brands. So I want to be known as that. I do mention that I'm a mom to twins. Again, when I first created this profile, it was for other moms and bloggers, but I've since updated it. You can see here that I put SEO content, again, content, and then emoji for writer. SEO content writer for SaaS brands. So that's my new thing I added, and email copywriter for women creatives. So I played around with this end tag of who I'm serving a lot. You can change it as often as you want. But what my profile is really attracting are the mom bloggers and the writers, but I am sharing informational content to help with the bloggers, the mom bloggers, because those are my main client that are seeing my copy. And then on my own, I am doing more outreach with brands. And then if they do hop onto my profile, they can see right away that I do write for these brands. So even though my profile isn't geared towards working with big brands and I'm not constantly marketing my service, I am sharing content to appeal to these women creatives. They could be moms, they could be authors, things like that. If you look at Copywriting by Kristen, she puts here, I help creatives. So creatives is a common term on Instagram, convert more clients, and says website copywriting and crazy good SEO, one-to-one SEO intensive, learn how to DIY SEO. And then she has a call to action of book for February. So if I was really active on Instagram like this, I would, instead of marketing my Facebook group, which I want to grow, I can put book for February, book for March for me actually, and then have a link for a contact form, or people are doing like third-party link stuff where you can link a lot of things. And so Lisa Kumas here is a copywriter, coach, and co-creator. She puts herself as an entrepreneur. She says, I coach freelancers how to build a thriving business on Upwork. So Full Thrive Freelancers must be a brand, coach and speaker, and story brand copywriter. And she puts her location right here as LA. So, I mean, there are different ways to create your bio. I like to use emojis. Some people do. And I think it works well in your bio. It shows a little bit of personality. And so you don't want to be so professional like you would on LinkedIn. You want to be a little bit more cutesy, more personable, more fun on Instagram. So who do you follow? Once you have your bio and you know the type of writer, the type of service you provide, you've set up your links, all of that great stuff, you want to follow ideally your target client. So who is your target audience? You know, for me, I started Instagram, like I said, for my Twins Mommy brand, which I share content for mom bloggers that want to grow and make money blogging. And I followed other mom bloggers. So here is, I am Deanna Castro here. This is a blogger, but they have a service. So when I started my service of copywriting, I naturally used other mompreneurs as my ideal client. Many mom bloggers who followed me were also coaches, were also authors, were also social media managers and things like that. So I naturally had a list of leads of the people that were following me and I was following them. But you know, earlier in 2022, bigger brands started following me and I started researching SaaS brands on Instagram and decided to follow those brands as well. So for example, GoDaddy is following me. So this is nice. This is when I started optimizing my profile a little bit for SaaS content to attract SaaS clients. Your Instagram profile can evolve. You can change it. You can change a lot of things all the time here if you want to play around, but stick with it at least for a couple weeks, 30 days to see how things are going. And then you can tweak as you go with your profile. And then for who to follow, just stick to your ideal potential clients and throw in some other, service providers, other writers. Like I said, I do follow a couple of writers, but I mostly follow other potential leads. So what do you share on your Instagram profile? So Instagram marketing is really turning towards more authentic content in 2022. This is a big pivot right now. Because TikTok is dominating with video and engagement on their platform, Instagram is failing a little bit here since people are posting on point, curated content instead of the real authentic content you would see on TikTok. So people are still, having those Instagram posts, of a curated house, beautiful decor, a beautiful show of dinner, things like that. But you want to be real. And so for me, that's always been my brand on Instagram. I don't do anything fancy. So the well put together looks nice, but Instagrammers aren't caring for that right now. So I really want you, if that's what you're doing, to pivot a little bit. So it's okay to share off-brand content. My feed isn't always on brand, as you can see. Back in the summer, I was doing posts with these little graphics in the background. I was really into that. I have that sort of displayed on my sales page that's a little bit transparent, and I have it in other areas of my marketing materials. So I sort of use that on Instagram. And then my colors are the dark purple, the pink, and the green. Mostly I use yellow. So I had this over the summer, but then I switched over to this. I'm using more dark purple in my pink. I added a peach. This quote is a different template than other quotes that I had long ago. This was my to-do list before. This is my to-do list now, like this. So I constantly change, and that seems to be okay. You want to be authentic and true to who you are and what you do. So I wouldn't be so cookie cutter in your feed as much, or your brand. You can stick with the colors, but play around. People want the real you. I would definitely play around with that. Okay, the types of posts you can share. So when marketing your business, it's best to share educational content, but occasionally mix it up. Carousel posts do well for engagement and content, and reels do well for teaching and entertainment. So let's go look quickly at a carousel post and a reel. On my profile, I do have this as a carousel post. And this is just attracting other writers. I like to promote content to help other writers. You have to swipe. So you can see it just looks like that. I have a thank you, and then I just have some things to entice people to comment, right? And then I get people to engage in my content here. Carousel posts are for me, I think they're informational. Here's another one. This is for mom bloggers. So again, I create content for the mom bloggers. And so this one's a little bit longer, but it's a different template that I used previously, right? And then I get engagement from other mom bloggers here. So you can see, and sometimes other writers. So I feel that carousel posts can show your credibility in your niche, but you can also be helpful in providing educational content. I occasionally will add lifestyle pictures of my family just to be more authentic. I probably should do a bit more. And then I do certain types of posts. A lot of these checklist posts I do. So here's a nurture your email checklist, letting people know that I know about email marketing. So here's one, and it got some engagement. And then here's some other checklists of what to do. And another one here of your blog post plan, a today list kind of thing. These are easy to make. All of these I make in Canva, super easy. I also like this sort of like tweet type of post here. It gets engagement. So I'll pull something from a blog post that I said, and I'll put it in here. So, when you're starting out as a new blogger, there's nothing wrong with keeping it simple at first. That's somewhere in a blog post that I wrote. So I'll repurpose that into like this tweet kind of post here, and that does well. And then I promote my lead magnets if I have one, and I add quotes. So here's one quote here, but then I have another quote here. I use different templates, as you can see, but those are the things that I'm mostly sharing. And finally, I forgot one more, is what I share on my blog, like what's new on the blog. So I do things like that. I haven't been doing reels as often, but with reels, I just do things for writers, and then I really pushed a lot when I first started reels with email. So I really made a conscious effort to talk about email and did a lot of networking and marketing to land my initial clients because of that. So all of this seemed to work. I don't show my face in these ones, and they seem to be fine. They seem to do well. So you can see here, it's just animated, and I did this in Canva as well. You can animate your text. So I have it just like that, and people seem to enjoy that. As you can see on the side here, I do make sure, if I remember, to add my hashtag. I don't always, and that's fine. I still grow my followers. My most recent post had no hashtags, and for some reason that day I gained a lot of followers. Like this one here. This one didn't have any hashtags. I didn't have any hashtags, but I seem to have grown a lot of followers at that time. A lot of copywriters started following me, so this seemed to attract them. And then for reels, since, I showed you mine, but like Kristen, she likes to do lots of reels. She's growing her profile, but she does a lot of reels, and it's, she'll have these cover arts here, but she'll also have just herself. And she does a great job using music, having fun with her reels, and people like that. People like all this authentic, and you can see that she's authentic. She showed herself, lounging around, and then, all made up a little bit. So these are all things that she does. And you can tell that these reels are educational. These are copywriting tips, SEO strategies, her secret copywriting formula, things like that, where she will share her things. Her ideal client, which she wants to attract people who need SEO help, right? So that's what she's doing. Let's go into stories and see what you can share for your stories. Just to preface, it's important to share another level of yourself on Instagram. If you're quirky, share that in your reels. Or if you're a mom, share your challenges with your audience. That's important. And so don't forget about your stories. Story content is just for your followers. So after people start following you, you can start creating stories. You can share other people's content. I often do that if I don't have enough content of my own. So for example, if I'm listening to a podcast, I'll share it in my feeds. You can do screenshots of your client work if you want, or testimonials you've received. That's always nice. If you want to start marketing your service to your followers, that can drum up some business. Those people may not be your ideal customer, but they might know someone, right? So it's fine to share things like that. You can talk to your audience about a day in the life. You can start in the morning, show them what you're doing, and then periodically throughout the day, share more content about what you're doing for the day. Or you can do an AMA. I've done that in the past, and that's fun. You drop their stickers, you can drop all those AMAs and questions. And then throughout the day, people ask you questions and you can answer them through text or through video. That's always fun. It makes for a lot of content for that day and as a story. I'm pretty busy lately, so I'm not doing those things, but I do want to start doing more of like authentic talking. I'm just not at that point yet. I for sure like to share other people's content for my stories, and I play around with other types of content as well. But I don't update. As you can see, I don't constantly have stories in my feed. And that's okay. You don't have to be, don't have the FOMO, fear of missing out. If you go to Instagram into your home feed, I don't have to be at the top constantly. Catherine Manning is a YouTuber, and so she constantly is on her stories. So she's mostly my first one right here constantly. That's okay. If you don't want to do that constantly, you don't have to. I don't, and it hasn't hurt me. I'm still growing my brand. I'm marketing my brand on my YouTube channel. Right now I'm doing a video on it. I share my Instagram link in my blog post. I may even share it with my email subscribers occasionally, and that just is naturally growing. If you want to grow more followers, like I said, hashtags can really play a role. It doesn't always have to, but it can reach new people, and that can work. I don't rely on hashtags, and I still continue to grow. So either they're finding me somewhere else or they're just using my name. So I'm branding my name, and I have been for the past 8 years. That's Instagram marketing for 2022 in a nutshell. Please go ahead and follow me on Instagram. And, if you have any questions, you can definitely message me. I do my best to try to answer questions that would help you for sure. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Tell me in the comments below what you're doing for Instagram, if you've landed any clients, and I'll see you in the next video.